You're listening to the Beats and Bars podcast hosted by BATTL BEATS. This podcast is out there to shine a light on the most slept on and underrated rappers and producers.
It's battle, baby.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's BATTL BEATS here with the Beats and Bars podcast. We've got a very special guest today. We've got HOLO. How's it going, man?
What's going on?
Not bad, not
Doing
bad.
pretty good.
Not bad. So I'm really grateful that you've come on this podcast because I think you're really talented, and I think that more and more people need to hear your music. So do you want to just tell us a bit about yourself, where you're from, how long you've been doing music and stuff?
Yeah, man. I am from Akron, Ohio. I been listening to rap music since I was probably like 10.
Mm-hmm.
I started writing middle school, high school, somewhere in there, and then I wrote a lot, but I never really did anything with it until actually just a couple years ago. I decided to pick up a microphone and give it a shot and see if I could put together a song, and I didn't hate how it sounded, so I just kind of kept going, and
Nice.
that's just how it's went, man.
What was it like? What was the first sort of feelings and emotions going on when you was like, right, I've done my first song and I'm ready to put it out? What was like the feelings behind that?
It was like there was like nervousness and then also like excitement.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have very like high standards for myself, so like, and it's funny because at the time I did that song and I was like, wow, this is so good, like I have to put this out and start doing this. And then you go back and listen to that first song now and it's like, what was I thinking? You know what I mean? Like how was I so like hyped about that? But you know, you can see the potential there, so I guess, you know, you'll take what you can get. But it was good. It was something that I didn't expect. It kind of the thought to do it and everything kind of happened just so quick, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went for it, and once I heard it, and I was like, this actually sounds pretty good. You know, it was exciting to put it out there and get started with everything.
Yeah, nice. It always is like that when you start off. You think your stuff's fire, and then you listen back and you're like,
Right.
maybe not. But you know, you've got to work with something. You know. Well, you don't make your best stuff on your first day, do you? You know, you just got to keep going and keep grinding it out.
Oh, of course not.
But
Yeah.
what would you say is some of like the things you've learned along the way of the grind to get into where you are today, where you know you're obviously way better than you were at the start, and you know you've honed your craft a little bit more.
Yeah. So I think the first thing I learned is just how much time music can just suck away from you. Like you don't realize it's like a time vacuum. You start working on something and you know, you'll feel like you've been doing something for an hour, and next thing you know, 8 hours have passed, and it's just crazy how you don't realize it. And it's, you know, I think that's one way to know that it's something you love to do, so that's good. um and just how much goes into it to making, you know, quality music, you know, when it comes to mixing especially, which is what I spend most of my time doing. I've tried ever since I started, when I thought it like I had a good enough sound. I've put so many hours just tweaking mixes, and every time I do a new song, I'm trying out new stuff with it. And you know, I never realized how much went into that and how important that was to getting a good sound.
Mm.
You know, is you can be a great writer and have a, you know, great flow and everything, but it's going to be hard to make your music enjoyable and listenable if it just doesn't sound that great. You know what I mean? So that's something I've really focused on and learned that that's not easy to just do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice. So yeah, it's really cool that you've just sort of worked on mixing, because not a lot of artists can do mixing. So why did you get into it, and what was the main reason? Because a lot of people just send it out to other people like me to mix, or to local studios where they live. what was the, why did you think, right, I want to actually get into mixing? Because I know you've referenced it in one of your songs on the HOLO tapes, so I thought we could ask you that question.
Yeah. So I think part of it was because when I was starting it, it was just kind of like a test go. Like I wasn't sure, like when I started working on my first song or first couple songs, I wasn't sure I was actually it was going to get to the point to where I liked them enough to put them out. So I have a MacBook because I do graphic design. So I have GarageBand on there. So that's kind of where it all started is I opened up GarageBand and started messing around in there, and I just kind of looked up like a few tutorials for templates and whatnot for how people set up general like rap vocals, and so I kind of followed like one of those guides, and that's what kind of got me started to where like, hey, I can probably figure this stuff out myself.
Hmm.
And also because I was so raw at the time, like I didn't want to send it to somebody I don't know. One, because at that time I didn't know how to send stems and stuff like that for other people to mix it. So that played a part. And then, like I said, me kind of being uncomfortable sending like music that is completely raw and I don't even know if it's good or how it would sound when I'd get it back. Like I just wasn't comfortable trying to find somebody to send that to. So I just started messing around in GarageBand myself since I had the program, and every time since then I would work on a new song. I would like try new things and see what sounded good, see what
Mm.
didn't, and it just progressed from there. And I just got sucked into just like trying to perfect it every time I make a song.
Mm.
And it's that's where a lot of the time vacuum I was talking about comes in too, is the
Hmm.
mixing, is because I can sit there and listen to the same verse for an hour over and over, just tweaking little things in the mix, and it's just ridiculous.
Mm. Yeah, nice. That's crazy. So, do you have any secret tips for mixing that you want to share? Tips and tricks that you use, picked up on the way?
Oh man, I have no, not really. Just because I've done so many different things, tried so many different ways, and to be honest, like I'm somebody who's never satisfied. Like even where I'm at now, everybody will tell me like, "Oh, your mixing is really good," but like I'm not happy with it. I guess the biggest thing and what I do is find big time artists that you really like, and whenever you're mixing a song, listen to their song and then immediately go back to yours and play it and say, and then start tweaking different things, whether it's the EQ, the compression, because in general, that's kind of is the basis of a mix. Is you start out with an EQ and you kind of level out, and then you bring in the compressors to kind of just get everything pretty level, keep the peaks from going crazy. And once you get that stuff out, I like to listen to artists that I want to sound like when I hear the music, and then I just tweak things, with that, and try to get it as close as I can.
Nice. That's
I
super
guess
cool.
that'd be my best tip,
Yeah, yeah, no, that's
is
just,
follow what works.
yeah, that is all that people need to know, really, and then you can start messing with like reverb and delay and stuff. But who were your main
Exactly.
sort of influences then in music? Because you use a lot of reference tracks in your mixes. So who are your go-to guys that you want to, you've drawn inspiration from? You want to shape your sound to be a little bit like theirs, but still be unique to yourself.
Yeah. So I started out listening to rap music with Lil Wayne
Hmm.
was like the first big like rapper. Went in and listened to all this stuff. That was because my brother, that's what he listened to. So I guess that was the first time I got an idea of like punchlines and how to write as far as that goes. But then like 95% of white rappers, I got into Eminem, and for the longest time I'm like, there's no way I can do anything like whatever the hell he's doing. Um, and then the more I started writing, I started to notice like little things that he does, the way he sneaks, double meanings, double entendres, stuff like that. I started to realize that I can I'm starting to put some of that stuff into my music as well. So not that I'm like trying to copy him, but because I listen to him so much, I would definitely say his style has rubbed off on me somewhat. I have been called like, I don't remember, it was like the Walmart or the dollar store Eminem. So
Mhm.
I was like, anything that ends with Eminem in a comparison to me, I'm fine with. Um, and then there's definitely some guys on YouTube though that are kind of shaping where I want to go. I listened to a lot of Quedeca for a while, and seeing his style evolve and then him and Joey Nato. So I like how they are bringing a more mainstream sound and style and blending that with the YouTube rap, which is a lot more like lyrical rap, and they're kind of putting their own mainstream spin on it. And that's what I'm trying to start getting into now is, having more catchy, like singy hooks that you can just vibe to. And but every now and then, there's always going to be time to just, go ham on a verse and just being super lyrical with it. But
Mm,
I think trying to adjust your style so it is appealing to more people is something I taking influence from guys like that
mm.
into where I want to go in the future for sure.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. So, what sort of things have you been working on recently then? Because I know that you've sent me some unreleased stuff. I won't name the songs just in case, but they were really cool, and I noticed that they were slightly different to some of the stuff that you've put out before, but because there was quite a bit of like singing and quite catchy
Mm-hmm.
hooks. And I noticed that you just said that you tried to incorporate a lot of that, but it's really cool. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the unreleased stuff that's coming out soon?
Yeah, I got a lot, honestly. I wish I could just drop what I have now, but I'm saving it for some special projects. I got uh it's no secret now by this point, but I've got a lot of songs with Eddie Ace, which me and him became friends through a retrack cipher, and ever since I hit him up after that, we've just decided to work on a ton of shit together.
Hmm.
So I got a lot of stuff with him kind of in the vault, and then like you said, some of that new stuff I'm waiting to just figure out exactly what I want to do with it and how I want to put it out there, whether it's singles or whether I want to put out an EP. um, Another thing is I am trying to get more into music videos. um, so I would like to, instead of just dropping song after song or a bunch of EPs, I want
Mm.
to make it more focused and dropping music videos
Hmm.
and just one at a time, so it's more engaging and people can see more me. And so that's kind of why I've held off on putting them out, is because I'm just still trying to figure out what I want to do. But yeah, um, like you said, that's kind of like the first step in the process of what I was saying with just making things bigger, catchier,
Hmm.
stuff like that. So
Yeah, that's nice. And I think it's really cool how you've sort of seen the way that other people have done it and realized, yeah, what they're doing is really good and it's working. I want to be able to incorporate that into my music, into my artist brand and whatever, and to help me grow. And that's the good thing, that you're sitting on a lot of fire, because once you've got a few music videos ready under your belt, you're
mhm.
prepared then to release some stuff, and then you can start building a really, really, really sick momentum wheel that's just keeping going. And I'm excited for when you do drop all of that stuff. But do you have a team of guys that you can trust on? Like, right, you need to come and help film this. You need to help me this video edit, or are you just a one-man band at the moment?
As far as filming, I have my brother-in-law has shot what videos I've done so far. However, he is about to be moving, and
Ooh.
that will not be an option. So I got to figure that out.
Yeah.
So as far as shooting music videos, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Um, I got the gear and equipment myself. Like I said, I just need somebody to stand there and hold the camera.
Mm.
Um, and then, but as in other aspects, I do have, a team. I got a producer. He sends me a lot of stuff. We go back and forth with, sending mixes and giving me feedback. I have a
Mhm.
lot of people, like whenever I finish a song, I'm sending it to them and I'm like, I need your feedback, how you think this sounds. And they always give me like honest, their honest opinions. And that's always very helpful. You need people to be real with you and not just be yes men, or you're going to trust that whatever you're doing is already so good. You just keep doing that, when for me, it's, you got to always try to find something wrong so you can get better.
Yeah.
And that's always what I'm looking for when I do my music. So yeah, I got people, uh, a group actually called Grindhouse. So the producer I was talking about kind of got me in with them, and they got a couple producers, a couple rappers that I've done some collabs with, and we're just, all good friends. And like you said, as far as, if one of us needs some like artwork, we'll help each other out. If we need a feature on a song, or producers got these beats, he'll send them around. And if we hear something on a beat, we can make a song out of it. We don't have to worry about paying like big fees for beats or anything like that for leases. And so it's definitely good having a group like that behind you.
Yeah, nice. I think it's really good to have people around you, because I've 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 made a few beats and I've like thought, right, I think this is actually going to sound really good with that guy. Then you send it to them and then they're
Yeah,
like, they really vibe with it. Or you maybe think, well, I've just spent this time doing this mix. I really like it. However, let's see what they think. And then they're like, maybe just this isn't good. This isn't as exactly how I thought. Blah 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 blah. And then it really helps you like get better as well. It really helps you like work on your craft as well, because you just don't want to be putting out stuff that, like you said, if you're putting something out and it's not as good as it could be, you might be falling on dead horses. You might just be, wasting your time. Whereas if you're getting that feedback and you're getting that constructive criticism by people that you trust, not just people who are just trolls and are just saying things to be mean, you can actually then grow, become better, and in turn you're not wasting your time, which is super good that you've got that team around you. I've talked
yeah,
about teams before in the podcast with Wyatt, and we swear by it. Like, we've helped each other grow so much just by working closely together, and I've seen that with myself and other artists as well, how we just help each other grow by being honest, being good friends, making fire music as well.
right.
But I was listening to the Hollow tapes, and it was really sick, man. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the themes behind that, and what was going on with that music? Because I know that you've not. I didn't find it on your YouTube, but I found it on Spotify.
Yeah, so on YouTube, I didn't break the songs up and drop them as individual tracks. It's on there, but it's just one video of the full EP.
Hmm.
Um, as far as that goes, that was just when I felt like I was finally at a spot where, you know, I was I can make like a couple quality songs. After making some remixes, getting started, making like a couple songs prior to that. But that was where I started. And it didn't really start out as an EP. It started out as just a couple of songs that I had in the works, and I thought they were all just at a certain level. So I went ahead and worked on a couple more, and then after I had those, which was pretty much everything except for the intro track, I made the intro track, and I think it all just kind of meshed together well. As far as themes, there really wasn't too much. That was back when I was just kind of rapping to practice and get better. I wasn't too worried about content, I guess, as much as just coming up with bars and working on my flow. And that's really what that is. Like, there's a couple songs where I have, some message to it, but they're some of the songs it's just random shit pretty much.
Mm.
So it's got a mix of that, and that's something I'm starting to work on now, is staying on track with a message with what I'm trying to say in my music, and um, not just put out a song that, even though it's like it might be like good rapping or good flow, I'm not really like saying much. So that's what I'm working on now. But I think that was my first good collection of songs. I still listen to it, which says a lot because I don't listen to a lot of my old stuff. After I've listened to it over and over and over, you know, it just kind of wears out. But every now and then I'll go turn it on and I'm like, man, I wasn't too bad back then.
We're
So
talking a year, bro. It wasn't that long ago.
yeah, but for me, that's half my music career.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, it's crazy how even in a year you can grow so much, which is really good, especially when you're like focused, so you're determined and you're just grinding out every single day. I think that's
absolutely.
really cool. But I
Hmm.
noticed you've done a few remixes. You did the YouTube Cypher 3 one and a few others. What's the favorite remix that you've done?
My favorite remix, probably Marsh. I did the Eminem Marsh remix.
Hmm.
I really like that one. I did the Homicide remix, but that was a little older. There was bits and pieces of it that I really liked. But as far as like beginning to end, I think Marsh, or I even did like it was kind of a remix, the box. Uh
Hmm.
somebody like the beat was like a little bit different, but it was like a remake of the beat, and then somebody did a hook for it, and I found that on BeatStars, and I thought it sounded really cool. So that's like 60% of the song is how good the beat and that dude sounds on the hook, and then I just have my rapping, which is pretty good on it. But I'd have to say I think I like Marsh a little bit more.
Mm, nice. Are you thinking that you're gonna keep doing remixes, or are you thinking at the moment, I'm kind of like I've got my own stuff, or do you think remixes are a good way to help you grow and get more fans as well?
I definitely think so. It's just when that right one comes about, when I really like the beat and I get inspired by it, is pretty much what happens. Everybody was doing the Godzilla beat, but I heard the Marsh song and I really liked that. And I was like, I want to do that. So sometimes it's about, what everybody's doing to try to get a couple extra clicks, but sometimes it's just, you hear a beat that you vibe with.
Mm,
Some of them, or at least I used to think, have this mindset, because I initially started out doing like mumble rappers beats and like remixing songs like Gucci Gang and stuff like that. And that was because I had the mindset of like, well, that's a really good beat, but it's getting butchered by the guy who's on it. So let me make a better
mm,
version of it. But no, it just, it depends. Like I don't ever plan on it. I'm not, and it's, if I do one, it's going to be, I can either write to this in a day or two and get it out while that content is still relevant, or I'm just not going to do it at all.
mm.
Um, and like I said, that all hinges on just how inspired I am when I hear the
Yeah,
beat.
I guess that's the main thing is if you can, if you're listening to that beat and you're vibing with it and you can just hear flows going off in your head and your lyrics are just popping out, do
Yep.
it. But I've seen a lot of people just release a remix, write it in like 30 minutes or something, put it out within the hour, and it's just like, bro, you should have just spent more time with it. Like, I get you're trying to do it for the clout, trying to get the subscribers, blah 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 blah, but
Yeah.
you should have just spent a bit more time in it. And
Hmm.
it's a shame because it's kind of like a pressure cooker, isn't it? With those remixes, if a song goes viral, like a rap song, and you post a remix, like in the same day or 2 days, you've got a really good shot at getting loads of views and stuff. But
Yeah.
if you've got if you don't do the beat justice, it's just going to be a waste of your time. You're going to get
Yeah.
more dislikes, negative likes, and that's the thing with those remixes. I like listening to different artists that I'm messing with and seeing what they've done to it. But sometimes I'm just like, oh man, if you'd only just spent a little bit more time, it's
Exactly.
so annoying.
Exactly.
Especially that the popping challenge. Do you know when everyone jumps on the popping challenge?
Yeah,
Like KSI.
pop and challenge actually leads into what I was gonna say next, and that's like if I do remixes, I'm doing videos for them because or wait, okay, yeah, no, KSIs, right? That's what you're talking
Mm.
about.
Yeah, yeah,
I get confused because there's what's poppin' because I did
yeah,
that remix,
yeah.
and then the poppin'. So I didn't know if that counted as a challenge or a verse, but I really like my verse on that. And
Do you think?
I
Sorry.
think if I made a video for it, that it and he saw it, it could have been like one of the top 10 ones because just for shock factor alone for one bar in particular. But I thought that it was I just thought it was a good solid verse. And it's one of those verses I can go back to even after listening to it so much and be like, damn, this is
Mm.
hard. So that definitely made me like got it in my head. Like if I do any remixes or challenges, I'm making videos because when he was reviewing them, he didn't watch any that were just an audio. You know what I mean? They all had to be videos. So I kind of learned my lesson from that. But
Yeah. And I guess I was watching when he was reviewing them, and like the Crypt won, but literally
yeah,
I think Crypt's talented and he's great, but I think the main reason why he won was because he just went so fast on his verse. He just obliterated it and just went 100 miles an hour. And I
yeah,
think that's what got KSI like, wow, this is fire. But
yeah. Well, and to be fair, and like I love Crypt. Crypt is such a good dude.
mm,
So
his
this is
videos are nice and I like him a lot.
Yeah, and this isn't anything knocking him, but he had the biggest following, so it was almost like a slam dunk for him to win. I'll say there were a couple other like people with big followings on there. I know Ali Dominique was one of them. I can't think there's like two or three. They were really big, but I think he just in general had the biggest like push and influence. So as far as just him getting votes. I think anytime that somebody leaves it up to voting, it's going to go to one of the more popular people. The one case I would say against that was probably the YouTube cipher volume 2, like when Crip did the contest, he did the contest for somebody to get on. It was a DK rap artist who won it, and that was a case of like just like pure like hard work and like force of will to win that contest because I watched him and that dude streamed 7 days straight for like 10 hours a day on like Omegle, like just like random people like, hey, if I rap for you, will you go vote for me in this contest? Like that dude worked his ass off to get votes, but like most of the time, like when it gets left down to voting, I just think it's more who people know,
Mm,
who has the most fans, because those are the people that are really going to go look at it. I don't think even 20% go in there completely blind, listen to all the options, and pick their favorite. I just don't see it happening that way. You know what I
no,
mean?
that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
Exactly.
But would you like to be on the next YouTube cipher?
Absolutely. I think I I've been trying to just put myself out there more. I don't think they probably view me as quite ready yet, which that's something I actually understand is I don't want to be thrown on one when I'm not good enough yet. Like every time I put out something or put out a verse, like immediately I'm like, oh, this is that level, and then I listen to it more and more, and I start realizing things I can do better. So even if it don't happen till YouTube Cipher 15, if he's still doing them then, and that's how long it takes me to be good enough to be on it, then that's what it is.
Mm,
But of course,
yeah,
I'd love to be on one of those.
yeah, that would be really cool. And I think it's really cool to see Crips has gained like a really massive community of people,
Yeah,
and he's got some real die-hard fans as well. And like I
yeah,
see you repping his merch all the time. I see a load of people repping his merch,
yeah.
and it just goes to show that he's just such a good dude, and people just really mess with him and just really are for him, which is really cool. But
hmm
if you was to have a feature with anyone that you haven't had a feature with before, that like a dream feature, who would it be?
Um, probably probably Quedeca,
Mm-hmm.
because I would just want to make a really fun song with him. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's probably because I would keep it in the. I feel like I don't know if that's necessarily realistic, but I wanted to keep it at least in the YouTube range because that's kind of where I'm at now. So
Mm.
I'm not going to go like any mainstream artist. I'm not going to be like Drake or anybody like that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
probably Quedeca.
Nice. And where do you sort of see yourself in the next sort of 5 years?
Hopefully, at least on the tail end of that, not having to, work a regular job and just even if it's just making ends meet, being able to solely do music or
Mm.
YouTube. I'm definitely looking into doing more just other YouTube content. I have for a while. That's something that kind of went into me getting the webcam and
Mm-hmm.
making it simpler to sit here and do videos. But where I'm at now is, do I want to just hop on the train of everybody of doing reactions and hope I you know get a reaction to a specific song that's going to blow me up, or do I want to try to come up with some original content like Crit did, or like Quedeca did with their styles of rap and um just other types of videos that they did. That's
Mm.
was the genius of them, is they do reactions, or like Crypt does reactions, but he got big off the stuff that he really was creative about, and the everything great about for like Rap Devil and stuff like that, and everything bad about, like, those videos were so enjoyable. And that's the other stuff that I'm talking about, like trying to find something like that, like another niche, so I'm not just hopping on the train of reactors, but I'm putting out music related content, you know what I
Mm.
mean? So that's the tough thing, but hopefully I find something somewhere I fit, and hope that's what I'm hoping works and gets me somewhere, like I said, in that like 5 year range, I guess.
Nice. That's sick. And we'll sort of wrap it up soon, but what would you
Hmm.
say is what advice would you give to yourself that you know now when you started rapping?
Start up way sooner. I wish I would have started when I was like 15, like when I started
Yeah.
writing. Honestly, I wish I had the like a computer, a microphone, and just everything I started doing 2 years ago, started doing it 10 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And just,
No.
I just think about where I would be now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just never know. Like
Right.
I've always been doing music for like 12 years, but I've only
Mm-hmm.
really been producing um for 5 years or so. So if I'd actually started producing early on, you never know where you'd be. But
Mm-hmm.
I guess the what ifs are the hard thing. But it is good advice to say, just start
Mm-hmm.
doing it. Just start. If you like writing,
Exactly.
if you like playing a few instruments, just start. Do it.
Yeah,
Because when you're young, you got nothing to lose. You can
exactly.
try it out. If you're not good at it, fine. If you find someone else you like, go with it. You never know.
Mm-hmm. And even if you don't think it's that good, like to anybody who's young thinking about starting to try to make music, even if you don't think it sounds good at first, or don't put it out, but keep doing it until you hear something that you're like, oh, this is starting to get good, because it takes a minute to develop. I feel like I kind of came out, like when I came on, everybody from the gate was like, oh, you you got good writing and your flow is good. And I hear a lot of people just try to start up, but they haven't really written before or anything like that, so their flows are so clunky. And like that's a problem I never really had. Like I was generally smooth, like I or had a general idea of, and I've improved on it so much since I started. But because I was writing for so long before I started like recording music, I at least had like a little bit of a head start when I did get on the mic. Um, and it's not, like I said, it's I can see why it's tougher for people who just say, hey, I want to make rap music, get a mic, and then they just try to start rapping, and it's just not as easy. um,
Mm.
I had a buddy who I haven't really seen in a while. He's kind of a friend of a friend, but we've hung out a couple times. And he hit me up. He was like, "Dude, I seen your music. I love your music. I was thinking about making rap music." I was like, "Dude, come over. I'll help you out." And it was a chore trying to help get this dude to. It was almost like I was trying to push him to my level immediately, which I know you can't do, but it's like it was frustrating because I'm like, you got to say it this way, or you got to be on this tempo. You got to say it, on beat when I'm trying to help him write. And I wanted to be like, no, don't put that there. But I also got to like let him do his own thing and develop. Like it was so hard. Like I'm not a teacher, so
Yeah.
it didn't go well. I'll just say that. But that's when I realized like, hey, I actually got somewhat of a talent because I just watched somebody who has never done this before try to do it, and it was ugly. So,
Oh, that's cool. I
yeah,
remember teaching some younger kids guitar a few times. Tried to teach someone how to make beats who's a teenager,
yeah,
um, and it's hard work at the start. Um,
yeah,
you tell them about 8 times, and then they eventually get it, and then they forget, and it's just like, oh, just yeah. So
yeah,
yeah, it is frustrating. That's one thing
hmm,
that I do always say is, if you want to get into something, know you're gonna suck for a while, but that's all right. Just keep doing it. Just keep writing. Just keep producing whatever it is. Just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and then it's going to be good. That's if I was to go back with when I started releasing beats, I would have. I wish I had held off a little bit, but I didn't, and that's fine. Whatever, it's cool. It all happens
yeah,
for. It's just the journey I've done, but I think that's really good advice, man. But
mhm.
I think we're coming up to about the 45-minute mark now. I don't like to make the episodes much longer, but
Yep.
where can we all check you out so I can put the links in the descriptions and things, and people can go and follow you and check all your dope music out.
Yeah, it's just your boy Hollow, YOURBOYHOLO. It's Hollow, not Holo.
Yeah,
Um,
I've said that
a lot of
before, and
yeah.
I realize that it's not the way you say it.
I didn't know if it was. I mean, I didn't know if you did, but a lot of people do when they first hear it, and then even after they learn the right way to say it, they mess it up. But yeah, at your boy Hollow, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. So everywhere
Nice.
there. I had I had a SoundCloud, but I don't really use it. And last time I used it, like the song I tried to put hollow tapes on there, and then they pulled it down because I didn't feel like going through and doing the whole process of saying, hey, I bought all these beats and whatever. So I just after I stopped using it after that. So yeah, and then on Spotify it's actually holographic music with an F, not a PH.
Hmm.
So that's I'm actually looking to get that changed, but for now that's what everything is under on Spotify. So that's like HOLOGRAFIC music. So
Nice, nice,
yep.
man. But no, thanks for coming on, bro. It's been a great episode getting to know you and your music and all that stuff. And this will be dropping in a few weeks, so keep your eyes posted. Tomorrow's episode is going to be with Maguire, which is a good episode as well.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun. This one will be out by the time that one's out. So everyone, whoever's listening, go listen to that one too because it was a good episode. But sounds good. And oh, actually, sorry, I should have said to you, Eddie Ace hit me up. He wants me to help him make some beats and things, which is going to be super cool because I remember
Hmm.
listening to some of his verses on some of your music that you sent me before, and I like the guy. He's really talented. So that's going to be fun. So.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you for having me, and it was fun talking to you. And
Happy
uh,
days.
yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, and we need to make some more music.
Absolutely. I still have your beats that you sent me, and me and Eddie are working on some of them. So and I got one. We got We Scheme on a Hook for one.
Nice.
I think I had you change it. It's that one that kind of like
All right.
switches
Yeah,
from
yeah,
like happy to like dark. Yeah, that one's gonna be sweet. That's another one just been in the vault. Like I've put so much on my plate that I just have so many unfinished projects I just don't want to get into, but I need to finish
yeah.
them. But
I guess when you're a perfectionist, sometimes it's hard, but
oh
sometimes you
yeah,
just got to say, you know what, whatever, I'm putting it out. But
exactly.
yeah, happy
But yeah,
days, man.
thanks for having me. Happy day, sir.
Yeah, I always say that. I don't know. How have you found like being interviewed by a British guy? Because obviously you're from Akron, which is where LeBron's from. I was
Yeah.
gonna try and go into an NBA side topic, but there was never the time. But are you a big Cleveland Cavaliers fan, or
Yeah. I like all the sports. I got a Browns
Cleveland
hat.
Browns? Yeah, that's cool.
Yep. Yep. So I'm more a football guy. Like football is my main sport. But I like basketball. I just don't really watch it when they're losing. And right now it's not really they weren't in the playoffs or anything, so
Yeah,
because COVID and stuff kind of cut the season short. But I was when LeBron was on the team and they were good.
yeah. I've met a few people from Cleveland who are like, yeah, I support LeBron. I'm just going to support him when he's in Miami and in LA. And it's great. He was at Cleveland and we won a championship. But yeah, a lot of people just follow him, which is, I guess, all right. A lot of people
Yeah, I root for him too. It is what it is. He's fun to watch in general. So
It is. Oh well, there we had the NBA segment. That was cool. But
yeah.
well, I'll just hit stop recording. But everyone, thanks for listening. Thank you for listening to the Beats and Bars podcast. I'm your host, Battle Beats. See you next week.
It's battle.